How's it going, super friends? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Brad the DC Universe Geek for those of you who may be new here. Today, I wanted to share with you some of my DC Comics based bits of swag that I've picked up in the last few days from thrift shopping and just going to various stores and seeing what I can find. I know for some of this stuff I probably could have made them into their own video, like maybe done a review of these items, but I really just kind of wanted to show them in one swagalicious video. So here they are, and in no particular order. So the first thing I wanted to share with you is I picked this up on Amazon not that long ago. It's the Collected Superpowers comics under one soft cover. Very cool to actually have all these because as a kid I never did manage to collect all of the issues. I had most of them, and then years ago when I was like 20 I gave away my entire comic book collection to this young DC fan who liked to dress up as a firefighter in his spare time. Don't ask, long story. But I gave them all to him, and in that box was most of the Collected Superpowers comics, minus a few issues. So I'm totally stoked to have all these under one cover. There is one drawback to getting all of these older comics under one cover, and that's if you look inside the pages here, the one thing that these are lacking is that old school style of coloring the comic books. You know, where it was the dots and the color might go over the lines. Comic books back in the day when I was a kid had a certain smell, a certain texture, and a certain way that they were colored. And they just don't do that anymore. For the most part, I'm actually happier about that because comic books look cooler now and they're definitely printed on a higher quality paper. However, with something like this, it would have been kind of cool if they had kept at least the original color style so that these things had that sort of vintage 80s feel when you opened up the pages. But you can see it's colored very straightforward and nothing like the old school stuff. Anyway, this wasn't that much money. You could probably find it on eBay. You should look it up. Another thing that I picked up is a game that I used to own way back in the day, and that's Batman Dark Tomorrow for the original Xbox. For those of you who aren't familiar with this game, and you really only know the Batman games from the Arkham series onward, Batman Dark Tomorrow is a game where you had a chance to play as Batman and had access to all of his gadgets, and you got to face off against a fairly extensive Batman rogues gallery, and you got to see characters in the game like Tim Drake Robin, and Oracle is in the game. It's a very cool game in some ways. Yes, it's very dated and it shows its age very much when you play this game on an LCD screen. It would have been nice if they kind of re-released it with better controls. They never will, but however, there are definitely problems with this game as well. And the problems that I'm going to mention are the kind of things that actually kept people away from this game. For this game, Batman's movement is really difficult. It's hard to control him properly, and the camera angle, much like an old school Silent Hill game, is constantly changing. So you'll have the thumbstick facing forward, and he's going in one direction, then the camera changes, and you're still pressing the same direction on the thumbstick, only really you should be pressing left or right, and then your fingers and your brain get confused, and then you have to try and climb down a ladder, and you can't push your finger the right way, and he climbs down, then climbs back up, and you get frustrated and wing the controller across the room. Ah! And the fighting in this game and how you use Batman's gadgets are all absolutely stinking terrible until you get used to the controls, that is. And the same thing can be said for his basic movement. Once you get used to it, the game is entirely playable, although it's also still entirely clunky. I played this game when I got sick in about 2003. I was on the sofa for like 2 days and I played through the game, and I actually beat the game because it's hard not to. You see, in this game when you die, you just pick up again at an automatic save point, and so the only thing that is stopping you from beating this game is your frustration with the controls and the inability to perform certain tasks which might be a barrier. It's not a great game, it's a pretty terrible game, but it's also a friggin' awesome game. Two other things that I managed to pick up today while out thrift shopping are A, the John Wesley Shipp Flash vs. the Trickster VHS. This is something that, as far as I'm concerned, is absolutely totally cool and rad because I come from the VHS generation, and there is nothing like hearing the whir of the VHS cassette tape player in the background of your show and watching the movie or the show in all of its imperfections. There's just a nostalgia about it. I'm aware the quality isn't nearly as good, but it's nice to be able to hop in the Wayback Machine and watch it in the form that you would have watched it when you were younger, at least if you're my age. And I also picked up the Supergirl movie, the original Supergirl movie starring Faye Dunaway and Helen Slater on VHS. Now you're probably asking, why do you have this in the first place? I mean, yeah, I've got it on DVD as well. Why do you have it on DVD and do you have it on VHS? The movie sucks. Well, yeah, from today's standards, I guess it kind of sucks. It didn't really do well in the theaters by comparison to a lot of superhero flicks. But as a kid, when I first watched it, I was totally enamored. I loved it. I didn't know any better when I was like 6 years old when I first saw it. It was just someone with a Superman symbol on their chest, and it was a girl. I got to see her fly around, use her powers, and there is a lot of heart and soul to this movie. It is an enjoyable movie. I find it to be an enjoyable movie, and like I said, there's something about watching these movies in their original VHS format. So I can't wait to pop these suckers into the VHS player and have a gander and make sure the tapes still work. Look at that. There's an actual look for those of you who are of the DVD age to what the video cassette actually looked like. I want to make sure that they're, they look good. Oh, look at that. That one's printed right on the front. Yeah. I don't know why I'm so excited about it, but I am. Why am I talking like a dummy? I don't know. Sounded dumber by the second. Another thing that I picked up was this room decor kit, because I'm going to be painting my youngest son Robert's room blue soon, and I wanted to pick some superhero stuff up to kind of plaster on the walls. It's always fun when you repaint to get new posters and new wall decor. So I picked this up, and it also comes with a little coloring thing. Let's just take it all out and have a look at it. Whoa. So while Dad and Mom are painting his bedroom, he can be doing coloring and dot to dots and stuff like that with this here little booklet, and it comes with markers. It's kind of a sucky marker kit, actually. I'm gonna have to give him pencil crayons or something like that, because this is a pretty crummy selection. Hey, there's no orange. There's no orange marker. Why is there no orange marker? Is there a picture of Aquaman in here? If there's a picture of Aquaman in here for him to color, but there ain't no orange, then I'm gonna be all like, dude, why did you give him a picture of Aquaman, but you didn't give him no orange to color Aquaman in? There isn't. Okay, well then now I'm like, dude, why didn't you put Aquaman in this book so that he would have Aquaman to color in and then give him an orange marker to do it? And then we've got the wall stickies. So here's the first one. Put that on the wall there. It's gonna look fabulous, actually. And then here's the second one with Supergirl, Joker, Aquaman, and Batgirl. I got a coloring book. That's for me. Just a color. It's like therapy. It's therapeutic. There's a maze. I like mazes. Mazes are fun. I also picked up these from my local Dollarama. Dollarama is a Canadian dollar store where everything is sold up to $4. These were $2 a pop, as you can see here. It's the origin story of Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman. And I picked these up specifically for Robert because he's kindergarten age and he's learning how to read. And these have nice big letters. We can read these with him before bed, and they're the origin stories in a very simplistic form of the characters. Very, very cool. I'm sure he's gonna love them. He loves reading before bed. So yeah, and these were all $2 a pop. If you're in Canada, seriously, go check out your Dollarama. You might be able to find these. They might not all be gone yet. I also picked up the Batman Missions Joker. You're probably like, don't you already have that? No, the one that you've seen in all the videos that I've had the Batman Missions figures in, that's actually Robert's. That's his Batman Missions Joker. I just never bought him for some reason. I think it's because I'm not a huge fan of this Joker's face. The face is nice, actually. It's the slick back hair and the fact that he's wearing all black underneath his trench coat. I don't know. Out of all the Batman Missions figures, this is probably one of the ones that is my least favorite. That's not a variant. This is like the basic Joker. It could have been better, but it's not a terrible figure, and I wanted to complete my basic figures for the Batman Missions, so I picked them up. In Canada, these guys go for about $12.99, I think, at Walmart. I think the only two that I have left to get are the Riddler, which is being sent to me by a friend, and then Mr. Freeze when he comes out. All the rest of the figures, I'm not really that interested in. They might show some new ones at San Diego Comic-Con. If they have like some other really cool characters, then obviously I'll keep collecting them. But once the Riddler shows up and once I get Mr. Freeze, I think I'll be done with the Batman Missions line. There'll be nothing else that I want to get. So yeah, I got the Joker. And then the final thing that I picked up is this Batman Missions 12-inch Nightwing figure. Actually, it was my wife that picked it up. She was out at Walmart and I've got her trained. Every time we go to Walmart, I take a trip down the toy aisle every single time. And so now she's just so used to it, she went and checked the toy aisle one time when I wasn't even there. And she's like, calls me up, hey, do you have the 12-inch Batman Missions Nightwing figure? I just found him. And I was like, no, I don't have him. So she picked him up for me. God bless my wife. She is just a wonderful woman. She not only supports what I do, she goes on toy hunts for me when I'm not out, and I don't even know she's gonna go on a toy hunt. Here, let's pop Nightwing out of the box. Here we go. Fantastic. I really think that Mattel with the True Move series has just been totally knocking it out of the park and making these fantastic 12-inch figures for targeted, to be honest, they're targeted at the youngsters. They're not really targeted at adult collectors. I can see why adults want to collect these because, I mean, they look fantastic for what they are. The articulation level on these guys is actually really good as well because they've all got the ball hinge shoulders, they've got elbows that do the elbowy thing and also rotate 360. They got, the wrists have good articulation, the heads, the groins have a lot of articulation, single jointed knees. These are really good considering that there have been DC figures, and I know there are Marvel figures currently that are in this scale that don't have any elbow or knee articulation. I feel like this is just perfect. My youngest boy has a bunch of True Moves figures. Some of them we bought for him, some of them we've bought for the channel to review, and then I've given them to him because he really likes them, like the Shazam and like the Joker. And he loves these guys. He'll get them all out and line them all up and play with them and stuff like that. He likes these as much as he likes his Imaginext DC figures and the Batman Missions figures, like the regular 6-inch scale ones. He really likes these. I think I may or may not end up giving this to him as well because he really likes Nightwing. He plays with his Nightwing all the time, so I'll probably end up giving it to him. Anyhow, I guess since I have nothing else to show you, I'll just end the video here. So thank you so much, Super Friends, for tuning in today and watching this video, watching me ramble on about the stuff that I've picked up lately to share with you. Hopefully you found it an enjoyable waste of time of some kind. If you have, please take the time to leave a like on it. Any comments you have, feel free to pop them down in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more of my face and my hands show up in your inbox, then I invite you to become a Super Friend and join the DC Squad today by hitting that red subscribe button and then doinking the little bell so that you get notified of when I put out new videos. Yeah, and I guess we're done. So, everybody, take care and have a DC day.